So here I'm making a video here, and so here's my couple of different creations here. I've had to modify them slightly. This is the original version here. Of course, they all have variable speed, Makita variable speed switches on here, and I've had to combat the collar from coming out. I've riveted this in. That's a problem with these. And this is, of course, my own creation. Comes from a Harbor Freight. You can see this is a Harbor Freight straight die grinder that I had cut off, put a collar in there from the air grinder, goes right in there, and then that's from the air die grinder, 90-degree die grinder. Of course, you have to weld the gear that's on this shaft right here. Those little keyway in there shears. So I've fixed that problem, and then the bolt that holds the gear from this part right here to this it's threaded. Can't see that. And then this has got a thread in here too as well. So that works pretty good. But the problem is the gears on here are just not robust enough. They're just too small. This thing puts out too much torque for electric. So here's my latest creation now. This right here is a bad boy. This is probably going to be my last one. And it is similar to that one. And what it required was to make a bushing to replace this part right here. This whole thing gets chopped off. Or not chopped off. This is a solid 3-inch, some 3-inch bar stock that I made. And then you can see I welded some tabs on it for the bolts on here. And fits into a little step that's in this part right here. Fits into that. Screws go into there. And then there's a bore. This right here, you bore this out the middle of that. This started out as a solid bar, so drilled and then bored it out to this size right here. Pressed it in there, and then you can't see it, but back under this surface here, this is welded. This collar is welded, and this original part right here from the Snap-on, which is I think Sioux Tools, which is American made, is normally like this long. It's an air long reach die grinder. They're like $500. So I cut the air powered die grinder, the rest of this off, and I can actually show you here in a minute. Cut that off. You press this into this collar I made, bore it straight, collar pressed in, gets welded, and then the shaft of this is a splined shaft. So the spline shaft I had to mate up with a double D right inside here. The shaft that come out of here is like a double D shaft. So I made an adapter, which is nothing more than the male side of the double D on one side that goes into this side. This side, there's a thread that's a fine thread 3/8 that screws into the shaft of this, which converts into a spline shaft. It's hard to explain, but so that's adapt from this to that. That's gets you here, and then this right here is the adapter piece that I made to this. So this thing is a bad to the bone here. this inside here has needle bearings, thrust needle bearings, and the gears on this inside of here are much more robust. Plus it's nice, it's got a handle on it. I had to bend it back a little bit so I can get in the corners when I do my sanding corners. Plus this thing probably work really good on a cutoff wheel. Of course, it's got the variable speed on here as well. Variable speed. Yeah, you can see it's Harbor Freight motor, and I made an adapter. So I'm gonna put this on pause and show you inside the house, the garage, what the rest of the parts that I came up, or from the parts where it came from. So here I have some parts from my Sioux. You can see it's Sioux tool. There you can see the part number right there, or the Sioux Tools, North Carolina. I don't know where the part number is. Actually, it's on the upper part, but it's very expensive. $500 long reach 90-degree die grinder, air die grinder, which you can see there's air. This is part of it. Slides down in here, goes down in here, and then here's the vanes of it. So that goes inside here. So, and then that's the fine thread 3/8 right there. That screws that the part that's inside my new thing. But here is the double D collar from these right here. These go onto here. This is the motor. So that screws onto there, or it goes onto there. And then, of course, this one I tried drilling out, trying a different way, but didn't work. So I left the double D on here. So you can imagine with the double D on here, this would go right on here like that. So you would have that. So there, I actually took a 3/8 bolt like this. Actually, it's more like this one here. 3/8 bolt, and I put a on my Bridgeport over there. Put a turned it down on my lathe, and then I put a 2 flats on it, which go into this double D right here. So that adapts, gets it down to a stud, and then the stud is basically what is right here, which screws onto the adapter that is in the tool, which you can't see, but it has a 3/8 fine thread. And then this side right here, which you can't see now, has an internal spline. It's like this, but it's like a 2 spline. Wish I had it here. Can't really see it because it's on similar to these Torx, like these Torx bits, but the spline is much finer, has a finer spline on it. So very very robust. So that gets down to the collar, which you saw the collar I made for it. So that's going to work out really good. Oh, I was going to show you also so this is from the 90-degree Harbor Freight die grinder. This is the double D right here. That this goes onto here. Actually, this is probably just exactly like it sits. So this part right here is from the 90-degree die grinder, which looks like these right here. This goes into here, turns the gear inside this. But the problem is these motors have so much torque. They're not made. These gears are not made for electric. They're only made for air powered. So I don't know if you could see that, the focus, but that there gear is chewed up right there. You could see that. I don't know if you can. focus, but it's chewed up pretty good. That's one of the old ones that got bit the dust. This one here is pretty good still, but I've been trying to figure out these issues with the these die grinder 90-degree electric die grinders that I'm making. Working pretty good now. I think this new one's going to come out really good. So anyway, well, don't forget to like and subscribe to my videos. Got my dad's or my grandpa's lathe over there. You can see that work out good. It's my engine with the big heads on it, cylinder heads on there. Gonna get that ready for next season, or for this season now. Happy New Year, everybody. And I guess that's about it. So like and subscribe to my videos, and catch you guys later.